Many children are worried about food. Many children have had negative experiences around their face, whether it's having an NG tube taken in and pulled out, and taken in and pulled out, whether they had a ventilator, or some children have had a GI system such that they gagged when any food came near their mouth. They gagged and vomited. If you have that kind of history with food, you can become very protective when food approaches, when a grown-up, a big giant grown-up person comes at you with a spoonful of food. So in many ways, many of these children really learn to protect themselves from us giant grown-ups, to protect themselves from somebody approaching them with a mound of food that we like to put in their mouth. So one of the things that we do in a get permission approach is try to find what is it the child does like. What is it the child does trust? What is it the child does feel comfortable with in and around their mouth? And we start there. So we're not starting as an outsider pushing something on them. We're starting as a friend who's saying, what is it you like? What is comfortable? And can we stretch from there? So for the child who really only takes a bottle and doesn't want food put in their mouth, we might start with just an interaction with a piece of food that we help them put in their hand, like maybe an apple, and we have them hand that to a parent, or we have them hand it to a sibling, or we help them bring it towards their mouth and smell it so they can get a taste from a distance with their smell. Or we might help them bring it towards their lips and just lick it and taste it and just begin to get friendly with it. So before we just put a mouthful of some food in that child's mouth, we are letting them get friendly, get up close and personal with that food before something's put into their mouth. We can then help that child hold that apple in their hand and rub it on their own lips and then taste it, and give them the opportunity again to rub it and then taste it, so that they are gradually becoming more friendly and giving permission for that food flavor to come back again. Once they like that flavor, then we can build on that flavor to dip that apple in some apple juice, so maybe the flavor is a little more wet, or dip that apple in a little applesauce so it becomes more wet, or maybe put a few very powdery crumbs on top of it so that it's the familiar apple, but the texture's changing a little bit. And we call that stretching from familiar. We're looking for what is it the child likes, what are they giving permission for, what texture, flavor, or utensil do they like bringing towards their face, and then how can we help them expand to a different flavor, texture, or utensil from what it is that they trust.